vertical y luego...
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Y le van a poner subtítulos, ¿no? O van a hacer traducción.
Vamos, sí, ahorita vamos a grabar así. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo les va? Yo ya estoy en vivo en YouTube.
¿Ah, ya estás en vivo?
Sí, estoy en vivo en YouTube.
If you remind me, I can tell you, but I can also. No, I actually not remember that. So
No, you do, but I don't.
Don't worry. Hola, ¿cómo están? Ya saben, yo soy Rodolfo Bello, facilitador de sueños. Estamos aquí en vivo, estamos en un lugar extraordinario. Me acabo de comer un chile en nogada buenísimo aquí en el sur de la ciudad. Y vamos a entrevistar a un extraordinario profesor que viene desde Alemania. Él nació en Teherán, en Irán, pero viene desde Alemania. Y lo vamos a entrevistar para ir conociendo todo lo que hay de educación universitaria en Alemania. Nos acompaña Zoe. Zoe está aquí con nosotros. Hola Zoe, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida.
Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Zoe, la coordinadora general de AMTE. Para quienes no saben qué es AMTE, AMTE es la Asociación Mexicana de Turismo Educativo. Nosotros agrupamos agencias, escuelas, proveedores de servicios y cuerpos diplomáticos, todos con el más alto nivel de calidad, para llevarles a ustedes, finalmente, ayudarlos a cumplir el sueño de estudiar en el extranjero.
Excelente, Zoe, excelente. Zoe tiene mucha experiencia, Zoe tiene muchísima experiencia en enviar gente al extranjero. Y vámonos derechito y de lleno y vamos a ubicar aquí a nuestro profesor. Él se llama Mohammad. Voy a dejarle hasta ahí porque su nombre es un poquito más complejo. Te digo, viene de Irán, de Teherán. Es un placer tenerlo aquí. Va a estar aquí en México para 2 eventos. Uno aquí en la Ciudad de México y otro en Monterrey. Entonces, sígueme, pregúntame para que te dé la liga del evento que tendrá él mañana y pasado, tanto en México como en la ciudad de Monterrey, porque vienen para ofrecer un chorro de cosas, becas, información, etcétera. Mohammad, welcome to Mexico City. I know it's your first time in Mexico.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for having me. Yes, it is the first time that I visit your beautiful country.
Excellent. Welcome. Even we are not in the video. I know you. Everybody will hear us. We want to ask to you something about the experience to have an undergraduate degrees in Germany. You are a teacher of database and also artificial intelligence. That is your degree, your PhD, and you work in GISMA. Tell us about GISMA. What is GISMA and what is the difference between private and public universities in Germany? A little bit.
Yes, Germany recently has become a very interesting country for international students. The reason is because Germany at the moment needs many skilled people to work in different disciplines, especially in technical fields like computer science, software engineering, data science, artificial intelligence. There is a huge need for expert people in Germany. So GISMA University of Applied Sciences is a University of Applied Sciences that is working in this domain. We focus on the intersection of business and tech. We offer different kinds of programs in business domain and technical domain. I'm personally leading the technical department of GISMA. We have a couple of programs like computer science, software engineering, and also data science, AI, and digital business. So regarding the other question that you mentioned, the comparison of public and private universities in Germany, public universities in Germany, they are free. So you will not have any tuition fee. However, the quality of teaching is also proportional to the amount of money that you pay.
So it's free.
Yes, it is very common that in a public university, you go to a classroom that has more than 500 students.
Really?
Yes, it's like a stadium, I can tell you.
So it's like a lecture.
Yes, you cannot see even the professor. There are some TVs,
Wow.
very old TVs, in a very big auditorium.
Wow.
And then you will try to understand what's happening there. And of course, you can imagine that there is no relationship, one-to-one relationship between professor and
The
student.
mentoring, the coaching are not exist.
These are all relied on some teaching assistants. If they
Yes.
are good, you will learn something. If not, you do not, and you have to rely on yourself in this case.
Okay.
But a private university, and especially I'm talking about Gizmo University of Applied Sciences, everything is different. We are delivering world-class, high-quality teaching experience to our students.
Okay.
First of all, our classes are very small. We have something maximum 50 students in one class.
Okay.
The classes are hybrid, which means students might join online or on campus. Of course, those students who are in Germany, they should come to the classroom.
Okay.
But it can happen that for some reason we are living in a world after Corona that everything can go wrong. So
Okay.
students can also join online, and then we have hybrid classes due to the technology. We have some students that are on big monitors
Okay.
and some students that are in the class. The other thing in Gizmo that is very important for us is to prepare the students for the real job market.
Yes, of course.
Which means we put a lot of emphasis on both theoretical and practical concepts. For example, if today a student learn one algorithm in AI in the class will be divided into two parts. The first part is about theory. We will learn how this algorithm works in theory. But the second part is to use a state-of-the-art technology that is out there to implement this algorithm,
Of course,
to do
of
something
course.
in practice. The idea is that the day that a student will graduate from Gizmo University of Applied Sciences, they should be ready to start their position in the job market.
And Mohammed, what's talking about that? What's the relation between Gizmo University and the companies out there, the ecosystem?
This is a very good question. Again, because we are a University of Applied Sciences, we have also a network of companies that are our partners. Example of these companies are SAP, Deloitte, Total Consultancy. We have a special week every term which is called a Skills Sprint Week. In this special week, we have a lot of interesting events for a student. Some of these events could be, for example, having a guest lecture or guest talk, bringing someone from a company to talk about their company, or bringing students to visit a company like SAP and see how people work in these kinds of companies. We all do these kinds of things because we want to expand the network of our students and increase their employability again.
Can you quickly explain, because para quienes no ubican bien, SAP, you're talking about SAAP.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit what is SAP? Because it's super famous en
Yes.
México. SAP, para quien, seguro todo el mundo, los ingenieros especialmente han oído, es que es ingeniero, o aquí se requiere que sepa SAP, o esta compañía trabaja con SAP. What is SAP?
What is SAP? What
SAP.
means SAP?
SAP. It is one of the biggest companies, German companies, that is focusing on software. So Hasso Plattner, who was the founder of this company, he invented this company a couple of decades ago, but they are focusing on building software, especially software for managing different kinds of business. So you probably see these kinds of software, SAP software, in many companies. They use it to run their business actually. So SAP is one of the German companies that are focusing on computer science software engineering. So you know, most of the companies in this field are in US, but
Yes.
Germany has also one of them that is very famous in the entire world.
Let me also say this. Not many people know what is a unicorn or unicornio. That means a startup that becoming big with a lot of money and also a lot of clients. Mexico has three big unicornios. Cava, something like that. There is another that the name is Clip, which you pay, some pay. And Latin America has, for example, Rapid or Duolingo. But just Berlin, just the city of Berlin has 10.
Yeah.
10. So people can imagine that how economy like Germany has so many companies that start out and now are really big, and they do because they study technologies and apply that technology, as you say.
Yes, Berlin is a really interesting city. You mentioned one of the reasons. It is the hub for many, many startups. Yes. But Berlin has also a lot of other interesting features that might be also interesting for international students. First of all, it is a big city, capital of Germany. Second, it is also very international. So you see people from many nationalities in Berlin, and you also hear a lot English in Berlin. So it means that someone like me, for example, who is not still unfortunately fluent in German, can still live in Berlin with English. But again, Berlin is also very attractive for many businesses. For example, Tesla has a branch there, and also many other companies are there. And also, it is a growing city in terms of the number of students, international universities out there. And it is also in terms of cost of living, it is much better than other cities that might be even smaller than Berlin in Europe, but the cost of living in them is much more than Berlin.
It's very interesting that you say, because many people think they need to speak German to study German, but no, you can speak English and study in English, or no, Zoe?
Of course, and like we wanted to ask you, talking about that, based on your experience, is it possible for students, I mean, not even, let's say, if you don't speak perfect or fluent German, is it possible for yourself? Was it okay for you to work? How's the labor market for a student with just English?
So, of course, when you do immigration and go to a different country, we always recommend our students to start learning the language. That's, of course, a recommendation. Of course, I'm not the right person to do that, to do this recommendation, because I'm still not fluent. I know German, so I'm kidding, but not fluent in German.
Yeah, but you could speak.
Yeah, I can.
When you arrive to a restaurant, you could eat
I can
something.
survive. I can survive.
Yeah. Deutsch.
Yeah, you know. Yes, but the thing is, it depends on the career that a student choose. For example, for technical careers, the language of teams almost in the entire world, international teams that speak English. In IT, in computer science, in software engineering, in data science. So students with English language will be able to not only live and study in Berlin, but also find jobs that are in English. But of course, learning German is recommended because it expands the opportunity for everyone.
And I let me suggest that also Mexican student has the Latin American culture. So if you arrive to Europe with your Latin American culture, your Spain, your English, and you start to learn German, you will have 3 idioms and you will do great things, no?
Of course.
And what is the duration? I mean, how long you need to have an undergraduate career in GISMA, for example?
Undergraduate programs are 3 years in GISMA.
3 years.
3 years.
In Mexico are 4.
4 years. No, we
Or
we
5.
Or 5.
No, we make sure that every student, they finish their studies in 3 years by carefully designing their programs and doing it in a regular way. But you also pointed an important thing that I forgot to mention in terms of comparison between public universities and private universities. Public universities, I mentioned that they are free in Germany, but usually their study duration, especially for master, will be very long. It takes 3-4 years to finish a master.
And you need today to make the student collect.
Yeah.
That is another year, no?
Yeah, that can happen. And you also need to, you don't pay to the university, but you have to survive for 4 years.
You need to pay to stay there, to live there.
To live there. But in a private university, like GISMA University of Applied Sciences, if you have relevant work experience after your bachelor, then you will be able to decrease the time of study from 2 years into 1 year. which means
Okay.
you will finish your master only in 1 year.
And you could start working.
Even though that you might pay tuition fee to the university and pay your living cost, it is still less than the amount that you have to give to a public university to finish your, not to public university, but you have to live 4 years to finish your study in a public university.
Which are the most popular or famous or very popular masters or undergraduate engagement? Business or applied science in computer science? And then let me think and also ask you something about artificial intelligence. That is a huge
That's a
detail.
boom.
Of course, yes, of course. So we have two departments at GISMA. One of them is business, one of them is tech. In the business side, we have programs like MBA and business management that are very popular. In our department, our computer and data science department, we have a couple of programs like computer science, software engineering and data science. But the most popular program that we have, this is one of our best-selling programs in GISMA, is named Data Science, AI, and Digital Business.
Wow!
One
So
of the
three
reasons,
things.
three
Very,
things.
very.
That's probably one of the reasons that why this program is the most popular one, because it is a very sweet combination of three concepts. Data science, which is about concepts like analyzing data, visualization data, and so on. AI, concepts like, for example, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and also digital business, concepts like sustainability management. So this interdisciplinary program is one of the best selling programs that we have, and this is something that a student needs to for real world. So combination of multiple disciplines.
Why is it important? I mean, because all of us have heard about artificial intelligence and everything, but like in real world, as you say, why is it important to learn or to know, to be an expert on data science and artificial intelligence? How do they apply that?
That's a good question, because we are living in a very interesting time. If you think about 5 years ago, our life was much more different than this. These days, ChatGPT has changed everything. And in next few years, there will be much more technologies like ChatGPT out there.
Yes.
So there is a paradigm shift. Those who want to study now, it is better to invest their time, money on the future sciences, not past sciences. So these sciences that you mentioned, data science, AI, these are the sciences that at the moment are changing our world. So you either join this way or you will fall behind.
Let me ask you this, Maham, because it's an issue, big one. What really means artificial intelligence in the basis? It's a genius in the internet that you ask something and they know everything, or it's a place where they do your homework, or what is really AI? And also, it's like the automobiles that you have a Mercedes or a Volkswagen or a Porsche or Fiat, because we know that we have Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT. There are too many international. What really means? What it is?
In a very simple word, artificial intelligence, as you can see in the name, is artificial intelligence. We human beings, we call ourselves intelligent.
Okay.
We say we are better than animals because we are intelligent.
Okay.
So in artificial intelligence, we want to build machines, we want to build software that can behave intelligently, like us. You can think about many applications. For example, your mobile phone automatically recognizes your face.
Okay.
Cars can now automatically drive.
Or open the door, for example.
ChatGPT can answer your questions. So these are intelligent tasks, and machine does this thing for you.
But now that intelligence is not so smart, or not?
Can we trust artificial intelligence? Because when I started, like using ChatGPT, I was like, okay, let's try this. And I'm a numerologist as well. So I was like playing, with ChatGPT. Hey, can you, do this math for me? And so it gave me wrong numbers because I knew, I knew by heart which were the numbers. I just wanted it to develop a little bit more, to elaborate. And they were wrong. So I got into a discussion, like into an argument with ChatGPT, like, hey, why did you get this wrong? So can we really trust artificial intelligence, or it depends on what you ask, or how do you make sure that it's delivering the right answers?
So chat GPT wrong?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So there is a misunderstanding that usually comes from Hollywood movies. And
Okay.
this is about artificial intelligence that is going to take our role, purge us from the planet, kill human beings, and take our role. This is wrong. Artificial intelligence is a tool. It's just like our knife.
Okay.
So we have to use it. Of course, it will not always be correct. Of course, sometimes it will be wrong. But that's why we human beings will be always on top of it. So it is not the case that artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, can do whatever you do and take your role. So it is a tool in your hand to help you to do your life much easier and improve your quality of life. Of course, you have to always rely on your own knowledge to check the answer and see whether it
To
works.
check.
Of
So
course.
it's different, right? Like to ask something like
Of course.
from scratch than to check or to compare. You cannot, let's say
Rely
nowadays,
100%.
like rely 100% of the time.
Exactly.
And also I think, Mohan, maybe you agree with me that we start using intelligent artificial to make tests, to make homeworks, to have questions,
Essays nowadays.
theses, something like that. But we start to learn how to use better intelligence artificial, for example, to help me to organize my computer, or to help me to organize my life, or maybe also to predict things, to predict in finance, or to predict in my character, or whatever. And we also start to know a little bit more about intelligence artificial, and I think we work together during the time. It is possible that a company or university has his own artificial intelligence,
Of course.
with the knowledge that they create.
Of course, this is the main idea of educating in artificial intelligence. We prepare students for future to build AI systems for different applications. So ChatGPT cannot do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
This is only for generating text for you. But we actually build different kinds of AI systems. In our university, we also build AI systems for different
Okay.
purposes. Our future students will also build different kinds of AI systems in different companies to do different things. Yes, this is exactly the point of studying in artificial intelligence field.
To create.
To create new AI systems. Exactly.
And if you also combine with virtual reality, whoa, the possibilities are big. It's because maybe games are something, but for example, for health,
Yeah, of course.
you could do many things for health. I saw many education using virtual reality and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. It has applications in many domains, medical domains. It has applications in self-driving cars. It has applications many domains. So yes, it is automating many things that we were doing in the past manually. That's true.
When you arrived to Mexico?
When I arrived,
When? Yes.
it was a few days ago.
Few days.
5 days ago.
You already eat chile here in Mexico?
No, I just learned it from you, so I should try it later.
And what about how your sense of this country and this thing? What do you think about
It's a
Mexico?
wonderful country, I can tell you. First of all, the weather is nice. People are very warm.
Okay.
City is beautiful, and it is full of surprises.
Yeah.
I was just telling Jimena that every few meters that you drive or walk in this city, you see something completely new, a modern building,
Yeah.
or a poor district, or for example, a cabin booth. So it's full of surprises, and it's not boring.
So we superior your expectations or something like that?
Yeah, unfortunately, my understanding from Mexico was coming from Hollywood movies. And then I came here and I said, no, this is totally different.
You are looking for the cowboys
Yeah.
and the beer.
Yeah, exactly. Desert.
Does everything.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a very obligated question that I have because so many students, parents, like people in general go like, no, but like if we go to like go to Germany, people is so cold. What can you tell us about that? Like, is that
About the culture
real?
of the
About
German.
yeah, like how are people, there? Is it cultural? Is it just a myth that people are like that?
So I am similar to you. I'm also coming from a culture that is similar to your culture. I'm coming from Iran, and we are also very warm people like you. I can tell you that immigration in general is challenging, but it's worth it because you will become a better character after facing these challenges. So of course, a country like Germany has a different culture to Mexico. Some aspects of this culture could be like that, for example, that you mentioned. Here people are warm, but I wouldn't say that people in Germany are cold. I'm just saying that people in Germany, they are more formal than here. I would say that they are following rules very strictly. And this is also something that I learned from them. So sometimes I also need such a discipline in my life to be more formal in following the rules and make sure that I have discipline for myself.
Yes.
Again, this is something that builds your character, to
Yes.
know another culture, to
Yes, agree with that.
combine good things of two cultures and put them together. So this is the whole point of traveling and visiting other cultures.
Some friend tell me the other day, oh, you really draw very nice, very beautiful. And I say, no, my drawings are not so good. Come on. You need to accept an halago, and you must to accept that. And he told me, if German receive a good point of you say, you drawing very good, the German say, yes, I know I draw very good, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the Latin American,
Yeah.
no, we try to reduce our characteristics
our
and
talents.
our talents. And in fact, many of our culture is to be
The manage.
yes,
Like,
the man.
Yeah.
But the German people, for all the things they have through to wars and all those things, they are more practical, more formal, more they accept everything.
Objective,
Objective.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Mohammed.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you. It's really good.
Now, before you go, please tell us why would GISMA or Berlin, like the country, the university, why would they want Mexican students at your campus?
Because they are good.
In Potsdam. Because you are in Potsdam, no?
Because they are good and talented. I can give you, for example, one example. Diego is one of our students who is coming from exactly the same university that you are, Tech. He did his bachelor with us, and now he is doing his master with us. And he is one of the most brightest students that we have at GISMA. So we know that Mexican students are talents. We would like to have many more students like Diego in GISMA. And yeah, so that's it.
Dankeschön, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so
Gracias,
much.
gracias.
Thank you so much. Gracias a todos los que nos están viendo. Gracias, Jimena. Gracias, Gaby. Jimena y Gaby vienen de GISMA, de aquí. Ellas están aquí en Latinoamérica, en Centroamérica y México. Para todos los que se quieran ir a GISMA a estudiar, ¿verdad? Allá
Sí,
Alemania.
y les pedimos por favor que después de que escucharon esta entrevista tan interesante, por favor contacten a Rodolfo, porque luego muchas veces ustedes creen que nosotras como universidad les vamos a dar mucha más información, pero no es cierto. Van a llamar a la universidad y va a venir a esta formalidad, tal vez un poquito alemana, y cuando lo hacemos a través de nuestros partners, como es en el caso de Rodolfo, ellos los van a llevar de la mano para que si tu mamá, tu abuelita, tu novio quiere saber todo, te lo dicen de la manera más amable y ayudan con esa transición, ¿verdad, Gaby?
Sí, para todos los procesos, todas las dudas que tengan, el primer paso es pedir información, háganlo, contacten a Rodolfo, están en las mejores manos.
Muchas gracias, gracias Zoe. Thank you,
Gracias.
Mohamed. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Ah, ok.
Sí, una decía que ya estaba full.
Sí, no, decía que lo restringieron a algunos espectadores.
¿Por qué?
Porque teníamos
No, es que abrí.
Dios mío.